Hello everyone and welcome back to the day 10 of our Hello Python series. I am Mayank Agarwal and I'm really happy to see your progress in the Python. I'm pretty sure that everything will be understood and also you are downloading all the content I'm providing because it contains a very good handwritten notes as well as question which you can practice for all the concepts which you are understanding. So in today's class we are going to learn about few more concepts of string, namely the concatenation and slicing. Now slicing as a concept is very important again because it is going to be used in lot of other data type as well. And I personally like to explain it in a lot more depth because in the industry you will see slicing getting used and many people don't have an idea on that. Okay, so please make sure that you also revise the class on indexing the last. So please make sure that you do that. And now let us start with slicing. Okay everyone, so first let us understand about concatenation. So concatenation in string. Okay, in Python when we add two or more string, they get joined in order. So concatenation basically means that to join or to add together. Okay, so let us understand this by an example first. Okay, so see this defined in front of you. So we have defined a as 1, b as 2 and c is equals to a plus b. Okay, now pause the video and let me know what will be the answer. Okay, or give your answer and explanation in the comments. Okay, so now let me run this thing. And the answer is 12. Okay, it is not 3. Now many of you who have an idea will be clear, but many of you might be thinking that why is that? The reason is that these are defined as string, right? These are not defined as integer. So we have studied about integer, numerical types, then bool, then string is the third one which we are studying. Because they have been, I would say, defined as string. And what happens in string that if you're adding to string, they get concatenated. Okay, so it doesn't go inside and understand what are the contents are. It just joins those strings. So that thing is very important to understand and that is used at a lot of places as well. Okay, so now let us understand that a little bit better. So example is that if S1 is hello, if S1 is hello and S2 is Python, right? So this is gonna, when we add that, this is gonna give you the name of our series, Hello Python. Just one thing always remember, so by default space is not added, like it adds them. Okay, it adds them the way it is. Okay, so it can also come at a lot of, I would say, company, this can come as a interview question as well. Like I personally have seen that. So this indexing, slicing, all these concepts are tested as a interview or I would say MCQ based of question as well. Okay, so no space is added here. If you want to specifically add space, you can use the third string basically and see that then it's going to give you the space here. Okay, so let us understand this once again. S1 is equals to, let's say, hello, and S2 is equals to Python, right? And when I'm going to do S1 plus S2, you're going to see that no space is there. So to make sure that if I want to have the space, what I can do is I can just directly have a space like this, and now I'm going to see the space. Okay, so again, concatenation, as I said, is a lot important. Now the next part is majorly that let's say multiplication in a way is repeated addition, right? So multiplication in a way is repeated addition. So what happened if you do S1 into 3? Okay, in a way this will be actually read like this, S1 plus S1 plus S1, right? That is what happened when we even do 4 into 3, right? So it is 4 plus 4 plus 4. So in a similar way, the answer which you are going to get is the same string 3 times because it is repeated addition. So always remember this thing as well, that if you want to, so many times you want to showcase something like this, and I have seen many people like they just make these things. Instead, as a smart programmer, what you can do is you can just do like this and multiply it, let's say, by 12, or let's say if you want that diamond icon or some this hash icon. So many times we used to show result like this now. So I see and I actually wonder that okay, they try to balance it out or something. So what you can actually do is you can do print, let's say in a string, this is your hash icon, and then into, let's say, 10, and you're going to see hash 10 times. Okay, so this again is very important to understand everyone, and this is tested. Now multiplication and division actually is not supported, so you cannot do something like this. Let's say where you are doing S1 minus S2, you're going to get an error. It's an I would say supported operand type. In a similar way, you cannot do S1 divided by 3. Again, it's going to give an error. Okay, because it is not supported. So string and integer, or let's say string and string also, it is not supported. So it is giving you an error, unsupported operand type. Okay, so this divide doesn't support these two operands, S1 and S2. We are going to learn more about these operand and operators in the next few videos. Okay, so these are all the things you have to understand about, I would say, concatenation. Now one more thing which you have to understand is that what happens is that if, let's say, your string is if you're taking the input. Okay, so if you remember, I told you about this input function in the very first class. Okay, let's say enter a number. So let me do this num1. Similarly, what I can do is I can take num2 as a number Okay, so let me first do this, and you're going to get, let's say, 5. Similarly, let's say, let me add another number. So this is, let's say, 10. Now when I'm going to do num1 plus num2, okay, num1 plus num2. So you can pause the video and let me know the answer. It's going to be 510. So it is concatenating. The reason is that type of our num1, it's actually a string. By default, Python takes input as a string. It doesn't know that, okay, what you are entering. So it basically just assumes that it will be a string because string can support all the types. Now, if you want to change these types, okay, there is a way to that, which we are going to see in the next class. Okay, so if you're liking the way of teaching, the materials, everything which I'm making sure to make you understand Python properly, please make sure that you like this video and comment on this video as well. And also share this with all your friends and subscribe to my channel so that you will never miss out any video on Python or any other, I would say, topic which I'm going to explain in future. Okay, so this is all about the concatenation majorly. Okay, now again understand this very nicely because it can get asked as a MCQ question or something. Now, okay, as you can see here, as multiplicated is repeated addition. Okay, as multiplication is repeated addition, it adds the string repeatedly. And here I have a question for you. S1 is equals to high. Then what is this S1 into 3 gonna be? So we can see the answer now. I think high, because it's high 3 times. So the next part is subtraction and division is not actually supported. Subtraction and division are not supported. So that is something which you always have to remember. So if you get a MCQ where this is, let's say, subtraction, like let's say they are giving you string like hello, and they are subtracting this LO. So I see many people just give the answer as HEL. Please don't do that. Now you know, you have studied from me. Please make sure that you don't make these kind of mistakes. Okay. So now let us move to slicing. Slicing is again a very important concept. Okay, so let us see what slicing is first. Slicing means pulling out a sequence of characters from a string. Okay, and this works well with other data types as well, the sequence or type of data types, which you're going to see in coming videos. Actually, it allows us to extract part of sequence from a sequence. So let's say if I've given an example as well. With slicing, what we can do is we can extract MAY, okay, from Mayank, right? And intuitive way to understand about slicing is just like we have a cake and we want to get the slice of the cake. Like we don't eat the full cake, right? It can be better as well. We can eat full cake, but yeah, normally what happens is that in a party or somewhere, we cut the slices out of our cake and generally eat that, right? So on that way, in a similar way, if you want to, let's say, use some particular part of a string, right? Let's say if you have a mobile number and you want to get the country code from them, like for example, the India country code is +91 and we have the numbers like this many times, right? So, and let's say someone is from 01, someone is having this kind of a number. So to extract all those country code, okay, we can use slicing here. Indexing was allowing us to access a particular element. Slicing helps us to cut that slice out, okay, from a particular, I would say, string or any sequence as well. Now, concept of slicing again is very important. Concept of slicing is very important as it is used in other sequence like list, tuple, as well as in NumPy arrays and pandas data frame. Okay, so once you understand slicing properly, okay, and that is what I'm going to make sure that you do from this video. Lot in depth, I'm going to explain you slicing. And when you're going to study about list, tuple, pandas, data frame or NumPy arrays, everywhere, because the concept is going to remain the same, we can access some part of the data. This thing will be exactly the same and you're going to basically be very much clear on how to use the slicing. Okay. So let us move in the next part and understand a little bit more about that. To slice a string, we use this square brackets, right? So if you remember, for indexing as well, we were using square brackets only. Now syntax is actually like this, S, A, B, okay. A actually here is start and B is index. Okay, so let me show you this as well in the practical ones. So let's understand about slicing, everyone. So slicing, see, let's say my string is like this, Python. So let's understand using Python only, right? So let's say my string is like this. Now what it is saying is that syntax is S, A, start index and B, end index. Okay, so let me try to do one thing. If I want to, let's say, get from 0, which is my start index, and we understand indexing now, right? And let's say I want to get till 4. So P, Y, T, H, right? Those are the things which I want to get. Now let us see what Python is going to give me. Again, make sure that you pause the video and give the answer first yourself and then see me explaining the answer. Now if we run this, we are getting P, Y, T, H, right? P, Y, T, H. So let us understand what exactly happened here. So see, we have P, Y, T, H, O, N. Now we know that the indexing, the way indexing is does, and because we have also added index here, it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said that, hey, start from 0 and go till 4. So in a way I should have, I think, gotten the answer till O, right? In a way I should have gotten the answer till O, because this is how it is happening, right? But you have to understand one thing always, that in Python what happened is that it makes sure that it stops, okay, it stops one step before. It stops one step before. That's the reason it is not stopping on this O. It steps one stop before and then give you the answer. So this O is actually omitted, and the reason intuitively you can think is that we many times say that I want till this position, right? So we specify the position which you want, but we don't want that position particularly, right? So basically what happened is that this also helps us to make one more thing, that to get a particular string, what I can do is I can do like this, 0 and length of that string. So it's going to give me the complete string now, because length of string here, this is actually equivalent to S, 0 and 6. Now we know that 6 will be somewhere here. It stops one position before and it gives you the answer. So that is how you're getting the full string. Now let us go back and see some things more. Let me clear this all. Yeah. So in above, A is equal to start index, B is equal to end index. Python stops slicing at B minus 1. That is something which we have seen already. Python stop index at n minus 1, right? So I can actually do one thing as well to make it clear. This is your start and this is your end, right? So this thing you have to understand. Now let us see example from Mayank. Okay, let's say if it is Mayank, then what are we gonna get? Okay, so you can just pause and tell me the answer. So it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have just seen that if I'm starting from 0 and I'm going till 3, so this is 3, I'm gonna step one step before. I'm gonna stop one step before, and thus the answer is gonna be MAY, right? Similarly, let us understand few more things now quickly. So if S is equal to Python, okay, now again we know that if it is I would say Python, if it is Python, then what happen is that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So here what's going to happen, here what's going to exactly happen is that we are basically going to start from 1, this is 1, and we are going till 4, and we are going to step one step before. So in this way the answer is going to be YTH, and you can see the answer is YTH, okay? So yeah, that is how the answer is. Now there are few more things which I have written, and you have to tell me the answer. So I want you to pause the video right now. I want you to pause the video and just, I would say, open the Python terminal, open the Python basically Jupyter Notebook or some online compiler, and learn run these things, so that you can tell me that what exactly the answer is going to be, and then I'm going to explain you this. Okay, cool. I hope you have done that. So let us first understand about this S3 is to 10. Okay, so in 3 is to 10 I'm going to start from here, and somewhere 10 is going to be here, like let's say 10, right? And it's going to stop on 9th position. So ideally we should be getting from 3 to 9, right? But let us see what's going to happen exactly. So if I do S3 is to 10, and this is what a string is, I'm getting HON. And this seems like, okay, it started from 3, it started from H, but it didn't go there towards the end. But it also didn't give us an error. So when we presented this 10, in indexing we were getting the error, right? But here we are not getting any error. So what does that mean? What does that mean is that slicing actually tries to give you the answer. Okay, if you are adding some index which is out of scope, or which is out of, I would say, where the index error might occur, it basically cuts that to the end of the string. It cuts that to the end of the string or length of the string. Okay, so actually how it is going to get run is, because this is S3, and now because this length is greater than the length of the word, it actually substitutes this with length of your S, and you get the answer in a similar way, and I can show you that as well. That is how you're going to get the answer. See, if it is S3 is to 6, 6 is our length, we get the answer as C, HON, right? Now again let us see S0, and if it is like this, so let us see this thing. Hopefully you have done the same. If you just don't provide the index at the end, if you don't provide the index, you are getting the full string. Now what does that mean? That if you are not providing the end index, it is taking that as length of string again. Okay, in a similar way, if you have this thing, if you're not providing the start index as well as the end index, okay, it is giving you the full string again. Okay, so this thing is very important to understand, everyone. Now let us see for S2 is to 2, what is going to be the answer. So S2 is to 2, and you're getting an empty string. So why you're getting the empty string? Now again, this is very important to understand. I think you have an idea now because I've explained this already. If our string is like this, Python, right? And let's say my indexes, so let me use a red pen for index, are like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you are saying that hey, start from 0 and start at 2 and end at 2 as well. Now I know I stop one step before. Now normally we have seen that we are moving in the right direction only, and I cannot basically, how can I start from 2 and then stop from 1? Like that is not possible. So now again, slicing don't give you an error in that way as well. It just basically makes sure that it is gonna give you the answer, okay, so that your code doesn't stop, and it gives you the empty string because it is not possible. So anytime the answer is not possible, like let's say for example, if I again give you one more use case, right? Just a second, yeah. So let's say the other use case is S. Okay, I'm saying that hey, start from 3 or start from 4 and go till 0. Now, how are you going to do that? Like where you are starting from 4 and you are going to 0. So again, the answer is going to be an empty string, right? So this thing is again very important to understand. Like this is something which I see a lot of students, lot of professionals also struggling. And again, this is used at a lot of places as well. So the understanding is going to be a lot helpful to you. Okay, everyone. So I hope this thing is clear. I hope this thing is particularly clear. Please make sure that you actually run these things once and try to, I would say, like use the explanation which I have given to get the answer, because that explanation is very important, because again, these things can be asked very easily in an MCQ and you can get confused on that. Okay. Great, everyone. So now let us see what we have learned from all this experimentation about slicing, right? So we saw one thing from above, right? That slicing try to give you an answer. Slicing actually doesn't give you an error. It tries to give you an answer, provided that you have added the syntax properly. If the answer is not possible, then it just gives you with a, I would say, particular empty string, right? And if let's say you are providing some indexes which are above and beyond, then it just gives you an, basically it makes sure that it is running towards the length of the string, right? So slicing try to give you the answer till it finds the string, okay? Till it is able to find the string, it is able to give you the answer. So now number line approach also, let us see. This approach is actually very helpful. Like I have seen and I have taught using this approach. This is very helpful for students to understand. The understanding is very easy, like nothing major, just that let's say if we have S is a string, and let's say you are getting from 1 to 4. So again, what you're going to do here is very easy stuff. You are just going to make sure that you are starting this at 1 and index basically which is at 4. You draw it here and you just move a step before and you give the whole answer, and you will be giving the answer from here, right? So this is the way it is done. YTH just. So this is the way it's done. Now you're going to also see the negative indexing here, right? So negative indexing, again, the understanding is very much same. Like don't get confused into that. If you have understand indexing properly from my last video, then negative indexing is going to be a lot easy for you. See what happens exactly. So just a second, let me show you this in practical. So we have this S again, right? And we know that exactly how this Python is basically like written is SHONN. And I know from my understanding from the last video that it's like this: -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, right? So this is exactly how I would say your Python string everything is, okay? Now my S is actually Python. So if I try to say it that hey, start from -5 and go till -2, you just have to do the same thing. You don't have to actually worry about that. The concept which I've taught you remain the same. It is asking you to start from this and go till -2. Now, because it is asking you to go till -2, you will stop one step before and you're going to give the answer. It's actually that easy. Like many students, I see that they are struggling a lot in this thing, but it is exactly that easy that you're getting the answer, right? Again, I'm giving you the question again. So let's say it is asking from -6 to -4. You can just solve this and let me know the answer. So this is how negative indexing gets taken care of. One thing more to understand, if this is negative indexing, then we similarly have this positive indexing here as well, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now, if you actually, let's say, mix these indexes, again, the understanding is very easy and it remains the same. See, if I'm asking you from -6 to 4, you don't have to do anything. You just have to understand the basic concept which I'm teaching you. And see, -6 is this one. One second, let me use the pen. Yeah. See, -6 is this one. And this your 4 is gonna be this. So you just step one step before. And if it is possible, you're gonna give the answer. If not, you're not gonna give the answer, and your answer is gonna be P by TH. So there are just lots of things to confuse you, because if your basics are not clear, many students are like, okay, it's gonna be an error. But yeah, I hope understanding from me, you will understand that this is not an error, and exactly you can provide the answer very easily with that, right? See, P by TH, again, very easy, right? This is how you just got the answer. So mixing of these negative and positive index, that also works in a similar way. If your indexing concept is clear, you will never face an error here. Okay, so this is what is written. Slicing works for negative indexes as well. So please make sure that you solve these questions now. Please make sure that you solve this question, and especially this last one. So in the next class, in the next basically video, we are gonna see about the one more, I would say, thing which we can control in your slicing. Okay, that is called a step or stride value. And yeah, we'll make sure that our concepts are clear in that. So yeah, cool then everyone. Please make sure that you like this video and also comment again to make this kind of a content, to make sure that each and everything I'm teaching you with complete depth. It requires a lot of effort. So please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and also share this with anyone who is struggling with Python, or I would say slicing in general, because yeah, many people are not clear with these concepts. Okay. And we are going to meet in the next video and complete our slicing technique. Of course, it's an important, I would say, concept, and it requires it, like lots of MCQ question comes from it. So it is a lot required. Okay, cool then everyone. Thanks a lot. Let's meet in the next video. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Thank you.